Okay, this week's project. I've actually just cut this down. It was just a piece of scrap wood that I've got hanging around, and I've got hundreds of pieces of scrap wood, just the same as this. So I cut this down into, I'll tell you what I'm going to do with it in a second, just 2 1/8, just over 2 inches square. And what the plan is to do is, because it's scrap wood and it can't really be used for anything, and because of the rings that you're always hearing about, obviously I've started to sell these rings. I'm selling them at quite a reduced price at the minute, but I'm hoping as time goes on and I perfect them that these prices will increase. And when selling these, I didn't want to just put them in bubble wrap and send them away. I want them to be a little bit more special, and maybe that people don't expect when they order the ring. But I wanted to do just a small rustic, nothing fancy box to go with them. And I wanted to use just scrap wood. It'll be whatever I have. It'll not be something that's actually included in the price. It's just a display for display purposes and for packaging for the ring. So I plan on them being quite small. Obviously the rings vary in sizes. So as I make, because what I'll probably end up doing if these work out okay is making them just in bulk, picking up all the scrap wood, cutting them and getting these made, and then they'll be there ready for just putting the rings into. So anyway, I digress. So the plan is we're going to make a little ring holder, very basic. All I'm going to be doing really is cutting the lid off. First of all, I'm going to be using some dowel, drilling a hole in the top straight through to the bottom part, so it'll probably come about 3/4 of the way down. That will fit some dowel in that will be glued into the lid but not into the base. And yeah, you'll see it at the top. Not worried about any of that. I will then, once I've got that to fit, I will then cut the lid off, and I will use a Forstner bit to just take the centre of the wood out for the ring to fit in. I will then be using some decorative moss just on the inside as for one, a little bit of protection for the ring, and also these rings, I think they'll benefit from something a little bit more natural for lining instead of like suede text or a ring holder or something like that. So yeah, I mean, I gave this little block a little sand down just to straighten the edges for me, and I'm going to put you on it'll be a complete time lapse of everything that I'm doing, and let's see how well they turn out. Keep watching. Okay, that's the dowel's done now, and obviously the hole. Still a bit rough at the edges, not sanded any of that yet. I checked the rings to make sure they fitted in, because when they swivel, they'll swivel like that. I've done 2 here because I needed a couple done, and then they'll shut quite nicely like that. There will be a little bit of moss which I shall put and possibly glue in there. No, I might just sit it in there. Right, so the next thing that I need to do now is I need to go and just sand off the bottom of here, just making sure it's flat. So that's the next thing I want to do, so I've got a nice edge, and then I'll be ready to glue these into place. And once they're glued into place, I'll need to let them dry, and then I shall sand the whole box as a one at that point. I shall also sand the bottom of that to make sure it's just flat and meeting okay. So that's what we're off to do next. Okay, obviously it's the top of a bench sander, and yeah, this is pretty old and knackered. I've been doing some of the resin rings on there, and it always leaves a bit of surplus. So I will quickly put a clean one on, and then we'll get going. Okay, done. Corner came off that bit there. Sometimes I glue them back on, but I can't find them today. Not going to worry too much about that. It's not meant to be anything spectacular. Adds a little bit of character to it, and that's the other one. So I'm going to go and glue the dowels in, and then we'll come back and see where we go from there. Okay, I've glued the dowel bits in. I just used this 502 wood adhesive, which comes from, I think it's Toolstation in the UK. That's just what I use for these. So that's it. I'll give it an hour or so. I managed to find a corner bit as well, so I've glued that back on. Give it an hour or so before I come back and sand them. Right, these are glued now, so I'm just going to sit them in place, and I'm going to give them a sand over on the bench sander first of all to get the tops even, and then I'm going to go onto the drum sander, I think, and just curve some of the edges on maybe this one. Okay, quite pleased with that. Right, we'll just go around the drum sander, and I'm just gonna, I think I might actually leave that one like that. I quite like the square shape on that. Yeah, I might do a little bit of hand sanding on it just to finish it, but the tops come off nicely. Right, time for a bit of sand sealer. I just gave that a little hand sand. Take those off now. Right, sand sealer. I use Chestnuts. 50-50 sand sealer with 50-50 thinners. I'll just give it a little coat over just to finish it. These really did only just take 5 minutes to complete, and I think it'll be a nice decorative way of finishing the rings off. Now I'm just going to do a couple of coats of sand sealer on this, and then I'll give it a sand down with a 600. It's just to stop the grain lifting. I am then going to put a little bit of wood burning on the top. Not quite sure what I'll put on there yet, but I shall get the wood burner out. And I don't know, I often use on some of my boxes, I often use on packaging a little sticker with just made with love on it, so I think it might just be something like that. because I really do think that what I do really, that is summed up by just that saying. I never make anything that I don't really want to make, so I mean, I've been known to in the past be asked to do well, it's one time I was asked to make props for photographs, but I chose not. It would have been very good because they would have gone out throughout the UK, but I actually did decide not to do it because I felt it would have took the fun out of what I do. And yeah, it would have been, you know, I would have earned a little bit of money from it, but there's no point in me doing any of it unless I really enjoy what I'm doing, is what I'm saying. And I think some of my best work comes with the enjoyment that I get out of it. I'm sure that has something to do with the way some projects just finish a lot better. Right, that's just first coat of sand sealer. So that actually, these don't normally take that long to dry, about 10 or 15 minutes. So I'll put the second coat on and I'll give a rough sand down, and then I'm going to come back to you when I do the little bit of wood burning on it. Okay, that's it sanded down to 600, and I've just written outline there in pencil. I don't know, I haven't got a clue if this is going to work, but it doesn't really matter because you can sand it down if you don't like it after. So the wood burner that I have is a coal wood detailer. It's where we can take the pens on and off. It's a great little one. I actually got it in from America, so yeah, I'm very happy with this. So let's have a go then and see how it comes out, which I'm not quite sure how it will. That's one. See if we can get the other one. Not quite as easy on the oak. Right, let me just give the pencil marks a little rub off. I'm quite pleased with that one. Let's say I'm quite pleased with them. Right, now we'll get a bit of right, I'll get this stuff cleared out and then I'll show you the next bit I'm going to do. Right, I bought this big bag of, it's decorative moss, so it's dried, and I thought this would be ideal for inside. Let's see if we can get this open. Oh, it holds together quite well. So let's have a look. So what the idea I was thinking of, if we use the camera, is just to put a little drop in the bottom of each of these. Right, and then we'll be able to fit the rings in. We need a little bit less in that. Maybe we're doing the holes a little bit deeper in future. I think it'll work okay for this one's. So that will be what it looks like when you open it up now. So quick video today. And I definitely think that I'll be using these for the packaging of, they only took about 5 minutes, so. Okay, this ring has actually been done because it's, somebody asked for it to be made to order. So this is the actual ring that I've put in there now. And this will be how I will display her ring for her. I'm very pleased with that. I think it's a nice way to package the rings up, and it does look a little bit done with hand, but that's what I'm wanting really. I was very pleased with the way these boxes came out. Both of them came out really, really well. Like I say, it probably took, if it wasn't for the fact of filming, I reckon I could probably have done one of these in about 20 minutes, albeit I would have had to have glued obviously. But about 20 minutes to make. I'm quite happy for that. You know, when you're selling stuff, you've obviously got to think about the extra workmanship in doing this. But I think that will fit in quite nicely with what I'm doing. So I hope that gives you another idea of maybe, you know, it's very expensive packaging really, because it's a beautiful piece of wood. I mean, that one's oak, and I'm not actually sure what this one was. I wouldn't like to say in case I was wrong. But anyhow, very pleased with them. Hope you like them. And if you like what you're seeing, prick that. If you like what you're seeing, press that like button, because it lets me know what I'm doing is okay for you. If you've got any other suggestions, please feel free to put it in the comments box below. Anything you would like to see, also just put it in the comments below. If you're new to the site, which is a lot of new people coming in, I'm over 200 now, which is just brilliant, you know, and thank you everybody for sticking with me. I know some weeks is not that great, but I'm just taking you on my journey really, with all of this. But anyway, if you like what you see, give me the thumbs up. If you've not subscribed yet, press that subscribe button, press the bell next to it, and you'll get notification when I release. I release 2 videos each week. One is an update and one is a project. And the update I started on in the first week of this year, and I plan on doing that for the duration of this year, and then we'll see after that if I will continue it or if I will adapt it or where we go from there. When I first started, I didn't intentionally start to put, the plan was to put a video out a month. So far I've managed to keep one going every week. So, you know, sometimes it's having to think out of the box for a little project and stuff. So if you've got any suggestions on what you'd like to do, please put it below. And thank you. Hope you enjoyed. See you next week.